This box just arrived, and I'd like to... Hey guys, this box just arrived in the mail, and I thought we'd do a little fun unboxing video. This is a piece of, well, dubious TV test equipment. TV was a booming thing in the 50s. Lots of correspondence courses to get into the repair business. There were lots of gadgets, lots of books for the home TV repairman, or somebody who was getting into it, or for a service shop with a small budget. Well, this is one of those items that was marketed to them. I couldn't tell from the listing what is actually supposed to do, but it came with all the documentation, so maybe we can figure this out. This is from a company called Century Electronics Co. Very similar to ICO and Seco. There are a number of companies that made low-end test equipment. I know it has its fans, its proponents, of people who like this kind of stuff. I mean, it was... not everybody could buy Hewlett-Packard and Tektronix, and often it wasn't needed to get something really high-end. But I think this might have been kind of pushing the boundaries from what I could see of it. But it's neat to get the original box. This came from Mineola, New York. 6 cents postage. I'm also thinking, because it's all here, it probably wasn't that useful, or it certainly didn't get used very much. Which also makes me think maybe it wasn't all that useful. But hey, like I said, we got all the paperwork, which is kind of what I really wanted to get out of this. It retailed for $4.99, according to an old ad I found. Oh, this is neat. We got everything, even their original envelope. So this really is all here. It's like somebody just opened it and put it back in the box and never touched it again. They sold a number of pieces of equipment for working with TVs and radios. I think this was the lowest cost item. Some of the other things they sold here was a Model 102 picture tube tester for $9.99, a condenser resistor analyzer for $20, an antenna tester for $15. This is what was in there. Oh, the end came off. It is a Model TVD-3 TV Dynatracer. So what got me curious about this is it looks like an RF probe. I would think there'd be a detector diode in there, maybe an RC filter, and it'll plug into a VTVM or something like that. But all this has is a ground clip and then a pointy end. And it's not powered as far as I know. So I'm thinking, since the end came off and I can see inside, that all that's in here is a neon light bulb. Let's see if I can get this apart. Oh, okay. I think we can just get this rubber band off. We can just slide it down the length of the cable. So I'm thinking this, if you went near the high voltage area, the neon light would light up. Like I use fluorescent bulbs all the time to do stuff like that. Is it really alternate? Okay, we have a capacitor. So it looks like we've got the pointy bit. And then I think that's a little coil there on the end. Kind of blobby thing with some wax on it. And then it's instead of being soldered together, they're sort of crimped together in this weird brass cylinder. We have a mica cap, we have a resistor, some more odd crimp connectors, and we have a neon bulb, and that's it. But wait a minute, how would you even see the neon bulb lighting up if it's inside? What does this thing do? Or could you see the glow of the neon bulb from that end all the way to here, or do you just see it? Well, okay, I guess you'd see a glow on the end. I forgot there's a translucent cap on this end. So is this just a high voltage detector? Well, let's see. The downside of this being sealed for so long is it's a little hard to unfold. Technician is no better than his test equipment. Dear friend, let's face it, every hour you spend fiddling around with hunt and try methods is an hour you lose money. We found out the hard way out in the field of servicing TV sets. Then we got smart. And as quick as we made some extra money, we went out and bought another piece of test equipment. Funny thing, it seems that the more we spent, the more we made. Calls went faster and easier. The nicest thing is less callbacks, etc., etc. So, still don't know what this thing is supposed to do. And this is not the manual for it. Okay, this is just some of their other stuff. There's a picture tube tester, which, like I said, this is really budget stuff. They don't even have meters on their testers. Well, at least you get an eye-tube with their condenser resistor analyzer. There's their antenna tester, also has an eye-tube. Alright, so this must be the manual for this. Quite a few pages for something that's so seemingly basic. Get this open without creasing it. These aren't particularly rare. I've seen other ones floating around on eBay in various conditions, and I saw at least one or two others that were still in the box. 1954. Alright. A unique yet effective piece of test equipment that most service technicians will find invaluable in their work is a new Dynatracer. Suppose the complaint is no picture, no sound. Weak sound, good picture. Weak picture, good sound. No horizontal sweep, no vertical sweep, no vertical sweep or so. Yeah. No horizontal or vertical sweep or sync. I gotta imagine all this does is you probe around and you see if the bulb lights up. Oh, no, not quite. So, weird. So to debug the vertical sweep circuit, they say disable the sound circuit by removing any sound IF tube. Disable the sync circuit by removing the sync separator tube. Clip the Dynatracer to the ungrounded end of the volume control and touch the tip to the vertical output tube. So they're using the TV set itself as the speaker and detector. So this is just, you clip this to the input to the sound circuit, and then you probe around inside the set with it. Same with the horizontal. Okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But for the video, they say pull out the first video IF stage and clip this in and poke around. So clip this to the grid of the first video IF tube and touch it to the grid of the second IF tube. I think they're just using this to bypass IF sections. So you clip this to the grid of the first video IF and touch the tip to the grid of the second IF. And then do the same thing to the second and then third IF. So you're just using this probe to connect the grid to the plate, sort of, and bypass that amplifier stage. And for the video amp, we're back to the volume control and poking around here and listening for a buzz. And same for the sound IF circuits. I guess you're sort of using different sections of the set itself. I know I've mentioned this a few times that once you get an image on the screen of a set, that becomes sort of your oscilloscope. they're kind of doing something similar with this, where they're using the screen or the speaker as part of your test equipment, and you're breaking parts of the circuit open and inserting this gadget to feed a signal into the video or the sound circuit, depending on what you're probing around, and use the. That's creative. I'll give them that. There's almost nothing to it, though. I wonder if there's curious to see if there's actually a schematic of this device in here. No. Maybe because I don't want you to know that there's almost nothing inside that tube. It's made of plastic, so at least you're pretty well insulated from things. So I'm thinking that neon bulb is there as a voltage limiter. It'll conduct at what, around 90 volts or something like that. So we have probe in, inductor, and that branches onto resistor, capacitor. Resistor's going through that neon bulb to the other side. So it looks like it's just AC coupled through this mica cap. And the neon bulb. Yeah, so in series with that resistor, which is I think 470 ohms or something like that. Yeah. I guess that'll limit the voltage across this capacitor that gets fed into whatever you're going to. That's all there is to it. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. If any of you have ever used anything like this, if you think it has some merit. I think it's all rather silly, but creative. I'll give them that. And as I always say about things like this, if it was a great piece of equipment, if it did some amazing things, we all would be familiar with it and have one on our workbench. But since we don't, I'm thinking it was more a gimmick than anything else. And just adjusting for inflation, I don't think this cost them anywhere near $5 to make back then. Whatever that comes out to now, there's really not a whole lot to this. Neon bulb maybe was the most expensive part, or this tip on it. But like I said, hey, for the home tinkerer looking to make a few bucks in his basement or garage, and you want some basic equipment, and I suppose, I think common sense and experience might get you a little bit further, but hey, it is what it is. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.